happened with this inflation print? We were talking about it on the show yesterday. So much expectation that if it was a bit too hot, markets would sell off. That didn't happen.
I think markets really, today are driven by the flows. People taking profit ahead of the weekend, people coming in with different positions. So I think during this short-term period where we've seen a huge amount of volatility, you see a lot of positioning, which may not be reflected in terms of what the economy is doing. Inflation should be higher, therefore markets should be more frightened about it. But I think basically it's the positioning now which is dictating the market. So you will see some fundamental figures come in, but the market not reacting to it because I think everybody's trying to position themselves now with respect to the markets.
And it seems to me many people are still asking the question as to whether the correction we got last week was one and done, or we could see a return of the moves to the downside. What do you think?
Exactly, and I think that's where everybody now is starting to ask that question and position themselves according to what they believe. People who believe it's a buy on dips, they are going now positioning themselves, where do I go in, at what level? People who believe that this could be the end of the cycle are positioning themselves in a different manner. So I think that's the one that's actually driving the markets today rather than the data and so on and so forth.
What are you telling clients?
We're telling clients that, this part of the market is really the end cycle or the end part of the cycle. So therefore, it's rather than a buy on dips, it's more of a sell on rallies kind of situation. So I think clients have to be very aware of that, not to be dragged into this kind of euphoria whereby markets come down, it's a good value, because the bigger picture itself tells us that at any point in time, it could have been the high of the last 1-2 weeks, or it could be in the next few months, but one of these peaks will turn out to be the peak for this present cycle.
Given the bit of a rebound we've had just over the last few days here, would you come back from the Lunar New Year as a seller?
What I would do, yes. So basically, if one has a portfolio which has not been de-risked yet, I would actually look to sell the rallies. In fact, anything that moves up to the previous half, about 2870, about 29 on the S&P 500, that would be a level which it would be attractive to sell out and de-risk one's portfolio.